Hey, welcome back to another episode of It's a Football Thing. As always, I'm your host, RJ, and I'm joined by my legendary co-host and champion mates, Scott the Gooner and Rob the Red Devil. How are we this evening, gentlemen?
Ready, pumped.
Always pumped, always ready to go, mate. Can't wait to have the live chat banging and let's get on and talk some EPL.
Absolutely. EPL, UCL, any type of L. And we've had a couple of L's lately, haven't we, Scott? And I'm sure that we'll continue to unpack some of those L's. But how good are some of our fashion choices tonight? We've got some retro jerseys. We've got some Saka Euros shirts in the house. It's feeling quite special. What do you think, boys? It's going to be a special night.
Mate, 99 treble winning shirt right here.
That's it, FA Cup. This was my Chelsea TV debut appearance shirt, so I'm feeling pretty
I'll
special.
raise that Bukayo Saka on an inflatable unicorn. Boom. Boom.
Yes, he needs a bit of a unicorn because he's in his own little fairy world, to be honest with you. But look, it's already buzzing in here. We're going to obviously do a bit of a UCL wrap. We're going to preview match week 16 in the Premier League, talk a little bit about FPL and get our predictions in. And of course, we've got the big announcement, metaphorical drum roll in the background. So you're going to have to stay tuned to see exactly what that big announcement is. But Scott, why don't we welcome some of the fine people who have made their way over to the IFT couch?
Absolutely. Some familiar faces in here. We've got our man Daniel. He's feeling excited. Chelsea, Juve, both teams qualified. Not sure if that's how you would have wanted it to happen, but hey.
Absolutely.
Concierge of crime. Evening to everyone whose teams are in the knockout stages. Yep, fair enough. I'll make sure I send you a picture when I'm at Milky Lane and say good evening to everyone who's sitting here right now. Declared is here. Good morning, good evening, whatever you want to call it. Alex is here. G'day, Al. How you going? Dieter, big supporter of the show. He's always
absolute legend. What a legend he is.
Mate, great to have you here. Tom's jumped in. Evening, Tom. Martin's here, adding a little bit of a Spurs touch. Declared saying I couldn't be any more casual. Come in my PJs, mate. There is nothing casual about a Bukayo Saka shirt where he's on an inflatable unicorn. Emad's here and Trippy. Time for another treble. Yeah, we'll
settle down, mate.
Try and get past young boys first. Yeah,
not so young boys, mate.
Yeah, that's it. Boys, where do you want to kickstart this? Do you want to start with a bit
Let's
of?
Let's wrap up the UCL. I need to get some stuff off my chest, mate. It's not been the best of mornings, but we should talk a little bit about the UCL final group stages. Robbie, United, 1-1 draw, bit of a rotated team. What did you make of the result in the end?
Yeah, look, for me, I've done a match for on this morning. In my title, I just put no stress. We've already a thing. I'm so happy that all our big boys are rested for the weekend. Mate, half the team was academy players. The rest were squad players that needed minutes in the leg. So this was just we were changing goalkeepers at halftime. It was one of those type of games. I don't know if anyone saw it. Mason Greenwood scored a beautiful bicycle. Early on, I actually thought we were going to maybe put a few more past them in the end. But look, to be fair, young boys capitalised off a mistake at the back, and they scored quite a nice finish as well. So I ended up finishing 1-1. But for me, this was just a sit back, relax, and enjoy a couple good debuts in the end as well. So this was just a dead rubber game. So it was nice to get through. Obviously, on the other side, I was happy. I won't rub salt in the wound, but as a Juventus fan as well, I was happy for that last minute equaliser in the Zenit game. So we qualified first. Not that it's a big thing at the moment, because I think there's so much quality in this UCL last 16 that for first or second, I think there's a good chance you're going to come up against a very high quality team. So yeah, it's nice that both my teams both top their group and they're in the 16.
Spot on. I think, look, when I saw the lineup, I checked United's lineup. I thought, it is a free hit. It doesn't matter what the result is. There's no banter. I mean, I do find it a little bit funny that you haven't beaten young boys. But
that was young boys versus young boys, mate.
100%. So, want to acknowledge as well someone new in here, Justin. Hey guys, first time watcher. Welcome, Justin. I'm thinking with that surname, you're a Maltese brother. Welcome. And a Man United fan. So you should like myself and Rob, but hate RJ, which is perfect. That's just how we like people on this channel. make sure, Justin, that you click that subscribe button too and give the video a thumbs up. Boys, I'm going to chuck up the tables, the final group tables, and we'll just quickly go through, and we don't need to talk about everyone. We'll just say whether we were shocked, whether we were happy. I've learnt a couple of new StreamYard tricks. I've learned how to put our faces at the bottom, and I like that a bit better. This group, City topping the group, Pessi's PSG second.
The one where he scored a brace, that Pessi the other day.
Yeah, one was a
joined with Ronaldo, and also outside the box to be the one who scored the most goals from outside the box. But, he's Pessi, so who cares?
His last 6 out of 10 goals in the Champions League have been penalties, and everyone calls him Penaldo.
Yeah.
Well, mate, you're not gonna knock him back, are you? As you like to say to me.
Let's look on this group. I don't think there's any shocks. It was always going to be between City and PSG. I think City gave a decent account of themselves, and they're someone who could go on and do a really good job in this competition. I feel like the winner is coming from this group. For all the Pessi and PSG slander, I still feel like our winner comes from Group A, but long way to go. Stranger things have happened. A group where nothing overly strange happened, quite quiet, wasn't it? Group B. RJ, what were your thoughts on this?
Dominant Liverpool, they're the real deal, and if you did sleep on them, you better wake up quick, smart, because they set a record for the first English team to get a perfect sweep in the UCL group stages. And even with the team that they've rotated, yes, they started a couple of important players, obviously the big guns up front. Yeah, acting like Ronaldo's never scored against a bad team before, but anyway, all good.
But he scored against Arsenal, didn't he?
That's it, exactly right. But for me, look, Liverpool too good. Milan very disappointing. I have to say, you're taking a lead, you threw it away like that. And Atletico, they're the team that I didn't want to get through because they're traditionally a team that will always cause you a lot of trouble. I know we got past them last time, but beating them felt so monumental to giving us the momentum to take last season's crown. So anybody that takes them on, they're not going to be a walk in the park. But that's just the way it is. Like Rob said, everybody's a team to be reckoned with.
Robbie, I want to ask you, because all jokes aside, right? We have no Liverpool fans on this panel. We do have to get Kat or Nick back on, though, just randomly on a side note. But there are no Liverpool fans here. This, to me, was probably the tightest group. When I looked at the groups originally, I thought, that one's going to be really, really tight. For Liverpool to go through, play 6, win 6. How impressive of an achievement is that for Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool, Robbie?
It's 100%. It is impressive. You can't take nothing away from them. There is some quality there. Like I said, Milan's the top of the Serie A at the moment. Porto, you know what they are. They're always one of the top 2 in Portugal. Atletico are known under Simeone for, they're more defensive football, but always hard to beat. So for them to go home and away, which normally in the Champions League, Liverpool aren't great away. They normally always kill it at Anfield, but away they normally struggle or lose a game or 2. So yeah, to go home and away and get pretty much perfect, it's they're definitely threatening on all fronts this year, man. They've got a fit team, they've got a firing team, and you know how they are, 6 European champions. They're one of those teams that are just great in Europe.
Yeah, look, can't really say much more on that. We've given them plenty of kudos. Question from Tom that I'm going to answer really quickly. Who wins the Conference League first, Arsenal or Barca? My answer is not Tottenham Hotspur. So as long as it's not them, I don't care who. I don't want them to win it, though.
He's in a good mood tonight, Tommy. I can see that smile behind the screen somewhere. He's a happy man.
Yeah, Tom, tell you what, how the demeanour changes after a couple
of games. They won a couple of games, and look how excited they're all getting.
They're back. It's coming home. It's
just
coming
quickly,
home.
Lads, we might get towards the end, but some of the teams that have dropped into the Europa League this year, I think it's actually going to be quite a great Europa League. Like, I always like to keep an eye on it anyway, but there's a lot of good teams that are coming in, and I don't know. My smoky off the bat, I like RB Leipzig. I reckon they're going to be a smoky for the Europa League. I know there's
you also called Turkey in the Euros, Rob.
What was that?
Your last smoky was Turkey in the Euros, mate.
Wait,
and you look like a turkey.
I wasn't the only one that called Turkey, mate. A lot of people called Turkey in the Euros.
Scott, not everybody can pick the winners of the Euros, okay? It's okay. Not everybody can pick the finalists and the winners.
Oh, geez. Let's move on. We'll cover some of that Europa stuff too in a moment. Look, this group, Ajax kicking goals, obviously. Goal difference. Dortmund going to the Europa League and Sporting staying put. That's huge. I'm stunned for Dortmund. I am absolutely stunned. RJ, reaction. Dortmund going to the Europa League, Sporting and Ajax.
Yeah, well, exactly. Rob hit the nail on the head in terms of the competition that's going to be in the Europa. We keep having a laugh at the Europa being the top tier clubs, but you got to give them credit, man. There's teams that continue to show up, and the width of talent continues to widen up. But for me, it's one of those things that doesn't seem to surprise me that there's always a shock drop out into the Europa League. But I didn't expect it to be Dortmund this time around. I did expect them to top the group with Ajax to be second, but full credit to Ajax, another clean sweep, and they're one of the teams that we can take on. So they're very much the real deal. So it should be exciting.
That's Ten Hag putting United on red notice to come get me at the end of the season.
We'll see. Hey, Robbie, I know we're not going to do much more Europa League. Can you imagine West Ham spanking Barca in the Europa League?
I think the whole footballing world would love that.
I think West Ham would beat them at the moment. I genuinely have no doubt
100%.
West Ham beat them.
Imagine them trying to handle like someone like Antonio up front, or the dynamism of Souček, Rice at the moment. Like, they're just in different leagues. You heard what was a Muller who came out before and said Barcelona are a very technical, very tactical team, but they can't handle the intensity. They're just a different level at the moment, and not the right.
I've seen this meme today. It was two people, and they had like Dembele and Depay practicing their celebrations for the Europa League final, and they were like going like this and stuff. It was funny.
Oh, jeez. Look, I don't really have anything to say about this group. There are no shocks here. Robbie, any quick words on this, or do you want to move on?
Yeah, move on. I don't know.
Disappointed. I was disappointed. Real Madrid took a deserved lead, but the game got killed off when we got the red card to Barella. So that's going to hurt us a lot, the straight red card. So it is what it is, one of those ugly situations. But for me, it's progress because we've qualified to the next stage, and we'll roll the dice from there on.
Serie A is dead, man. You and me have this in the group chat. It's dead. Dead league. Rest in peace to the Italian league. This group, again, no shocks with a dominant Bayern Munich. They're just an absolute juggernaut and powerhouse, and there were no doubts they would top this group. We've kind of touched on the Barca thing already, but I guess just some kudos to Benfica for getting in there, because no matter what kind of mud Barca are in at the moment, it's disappointing from them. I'm just putting these up to be polite, because I do like to get to the comments when they're here. And Yoda saying Bayern really have it in for Barca. I think they do. I mean, they've both been at the top of European football, competing so intently for years that when one's in the mud, you've really got to join it.
How awkward would it be to beat Coutinho today? He was on loan, won the Champions League with Bayern after pumping him like 8-2, and then today he was back on Barca, and he's lost 3-0, getting back to the Europa League.
Hey, Rob, it's a football thing, mate. What can you say? One of those weird things.
That's it. If you've just joined us or you've just kind of jumped in, don't forget we will be doing a special announcement a little bit later on in the show. You'll need to keep your ears peeled for that. We're just doing some UCL at the moment, but please make sure you have hit the like button, subscribed if you haven't already. We are going to finish this UCL wrap very, very soon. Robbie, this is your team's group. Do you want to just kind of wrap this group up for us before we go to the next?
Well, it's not complete, to be honest. The game got the Villarreal and Atalanta actually got postponed this morning, got snowed out.
Right, it did
I think that's going to be played tomorrow, and both those teams can still go through. So that's a big game. That'll be interesting to keep eyes on. Like I said on the stream on Tuesday night, Atalanta at home in Bergamo, I think will progress, and they'll be in the 16.
Should we add that fixture to our predictions for this week, boys? Are you down to add that
something for a bit of fun, a bit of a bonus?
I thought we did predict. Did we not predict it the other night?
No, let's do it again.
Okay.
Let's go. What's your score? Who wins, RJ? You first.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Atalanta wins this one 3-1.
I agree. He took the words at 3-1 for me as well.
I'm going a 1-1 draw. Villarreal, Unai Emery. He loves to draw and he loves to fight. So let's go with a 1-1 draw there. Daniel, hope you got those down, my man. I know you keep tabs. Let's go to Group G. A tight finish up there. RJ, any thoughts on this group?
Oh, it was very close, as you said. And we were debating this the other night about which way I was going to go. And I predicted Salzburg to actually go on top, but they kind of just missed out in the end. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Sevilla didn't qualify in second spot out of the end of it. But it shows there's just a really tight group in the end. Robbie, what do you think?
I'm wrapped. Sevilla's not there. Look, everyone knows I love all football, but probably at the bottom of the barrel for me is La Liga. I just don't like the Spanish league. I can't stand them. And Sevilla going to the Europa League, even though they'll probably win it, is just a bonus for me. So, yeah, those two teams as well. Like, everyone, I'm sure, will be like, I want to draw them. But like I said, any team on their day at home can beat someone in 2 legs, man. So, it's good. Someone different as well, man. I'm glad Lille's kind of continued off last year. They won the title in the French league there, and now they're into the final 16, so good on them.
Right. RJ, Chelsea in the mud, mate. Absolutely in the mud. Before you get onto it, I'm going to actually no. You go first. I don't want to steal any of your thunder. Let's see if you hit my point.
What thunder, mate? It's one of those situations where we should have topped the group, didn't top it. It is what it is. The context is very important. I'm not sure if you saw the game or the lineups, whatever. We are in a situation that is quite unusual in terms of 4 midfielders unavailable. Kovacic, Kante, Jorginho, and Loftus-Cheek got injured in the warm-up apparently. We had Malang Sarr starting, Kepa in goal, who, to his credit, played pretty well. Christensen in the middle of the back three. You lose a lot when you haven't got Silva and Rudiger there, and the fact that we had a makeshift midfield up top. It's a shame because Timo Werner, 2 goals and assist, played really well. Romelu back on the goal sheet. So there were a lot of positives. We started off 90 seconds taking the lead, and we should have scored another 2 or 3 goals, but consistent with the problems of yesteryear, we failed to be ruthless and kill teams off when we're dominating them, and we invited the pressure back. 2 quick-fire, ugly goals to concede, and yeah, we got ourselves back in the lead, but conceded a last-minute rocket. So it's a Chelsea thing. For me, it's just one of those situations where you take the result. It's a bitter pill to swallow. We progressed, but we also had to look forward. We've got a big game up against Leeds on the weekend, and we couldn't really risk any more injuries because we're already in a very precarious situation personnel-wise. So tough loss, tough performance, basic schoolboy errors. We've really got to cut that rubbish out of our game if we want to get back on track, but it's not world-ending, if you know what I mean, because we already qualified.
Yeah. And what I was kind of wanting to add on that was, and you touched on it, I would imagine as a Chelsea fan that you're not happy with the result. I mean, you would have liked to top the group, I'm guessing.
For sure.
However, goals have been a problem for Chelsea. I mean, your wing back with Chilwell out, that's helped dry up the goals. But
we're very bad there, Scott. So I just have to say that left-hand side, mate, with Saul and left wing back, and it's just Alonso. It's just not working out at the moment. That's going to be a really big problem area for us to resolve. I thought the midfield had problems, but that left-hand side's in a real mess at the moment.
Look, seeing Lukaku and Werner on the score sheet, though, I think that will give you a little bit of promise because they needed to hit some goals. I feel like both are confidence players. And a striker, nothing gives you more confidence than hitting the back of the net. Robbie, this comment from Davide saying, not sure if he covered it, but Juve were garbage, couldn't finish a cup of tea, and just giving the forwards some stick. I know you're a Juventus fan. Your thoughts?
Rich coming from a Leeds supporter, but anyway. Look, he's not far off the mark, but I've been not far. I haven't been hiding this all year. And for the past couple of seasons, Juve's squad is not very good at all. And like out of these 4 teams, we called at the start, Chelsea and Juventus were going to be the ones that were going to qualify. But I'm surprised the Juve got in there somehow on top. Like I said, I don't think it really matters, and it's panic stations for Chelsea at all. But look, for Juve to top that, look, the best part of the game was the goal. The assist from Bernardeschi was actually great. If you've seen it, it was outside the foot and a nice headed finish from Moise Kean. besides that, look, they just haven't got a great midfield. I think we started one of our youngest players ever in the Champions League today as well. So this in and out, look, Juve is not going to be a threat for the Champions League at all this year. So for them, it's great to get into the next stage. Depending on a draw, they might get through maybe another game, but they're definitely not going to threaten far for the Champions League this year.
Next minute, Juve win the whole thing. It's a football thing. Boys, I think we're all in agreement. It's been an interesting final match day, match week of the Champions League. There have been some big results, some upsets, and I think it's only going to get better as we go, to be honest. There are some gargantuan clashes.
And the draws on Monday, I think, Scott, as well, if I'm not mistaken, from doing a bit of research.
Just quickly,
quick
question at you. Obviously, we're in the Champions League. Is there someone you'd want or not want?
Cheeky dig there, Rob. I like that. Snuck that in just for Scott.
So go print another Bumblebee poster. Tell you what.
Sorry, so what was your question, Rob? I was too busy
Just a
laughing.
quick fire after that. Is there, for Chelsea, is there someone you want and don't want in the next one? Because a lot of people think, that's written in the stars for this and that. Someone you go, no, I want to avoid them and I'll happily take them.
The best tweet I saw was from a fellow Chelsea account that I follow, Chelsea Yan, and he goes, there's a 25% chance of getting Bayern Munich, so that's a 100% chance we're going to get Bayern Munich. Because that's what obviously all Blues fans, not all Blues fans, can't talk for everybody, but the vast majority would not want to verse them at any point. I know you've got to beat the best, to be the best, to beat the best, and we are the best in terms of the trophy at the moment. But the way that we're playing in the injury situation, we'd obviously prefer to avoid them at all costs for now. I'd probably prefer to get Lille if there was, because I know there's Ajax as well there that we can take on, but I think they probably would represent the best option, to be honest with you, but just anyone but Bayern. But yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see. What does the concierge have to say? Yeah, that's it. I reckon. Packing with you 7.
What do you think about
look, on Shane's comment, actually, a lot of people think United will get PSG because the whole Ronaldo versus Messi thing, which I think is a high chance. Me personally, I think it'll be Juventus versus and PSG in the next round.
Same.
Just because I think it's because of the whole, UEFA thing, and at the moment PSG are the love boys of UEFA, and with all that Super League stuff with the president of Juventus, I could see them two clashing. Me personally, I reckon there's a slight chance. I reckon we might get Salzburg just because the connection now with Red Bull. I think that'll be a bit of a connect the dots for.
Do you think these draws are fixed?
It's supposed to be random, eh? That's the thing.
I feel like it's never random because let's face it. Look, generally everyone hates us, and when we were in the Champions League, it seemed like I can't swear on the pod. I'll zip. Insert adjective here. Bayern Munich every year. Do you feel like they're fixed? Is that your gut feeling?
Mate, I'm sure they're not even in the thing. I'm sure City will still get Chesterfield in the next round or something. They're not even in the round of 16. So
they tend to get PSG though a lot. You get,
and we'll probably get Real. If we don't get Bayern, we'll get Real Madrid. That's what's going to happen because that's a nice story to tell.
I don't want Atletico or PSG in the next round. They're the two I'd like to avoid. Anyone else, I would take on.
Yeah, look, it's interesting times. Whatever happens, I'm sure there'll be some blockbuster fixtures.
But just quickly rounding up that point is that I said that we don't want to verse Bayern and we don't want to verse the better teams, but sometimes it is better to get a serious contender on your way in to the big dance because you're not trying to have this slow build up and save all your eggs in one basket for the final. Like sometimes you really need to be battle hardened on the way through to the final. But it all depends on how you form, and not just your form, but you really need the troops to be feeling fresh and not too fatigued or injured like many of our boys are.
It's a little bit like England in the World Cup and the Euros. They generally had easier runs to finals. Then when they came up against a high-pressure game in a final, they buckled. So I can see the point. I mean, at the end of the day, when you're in the Champions League, if your ambition is to win it, you've got to beat big teams somewhere along the way. So to me, I reckon you'd probably galvanise your squad more by knocking out a big wig now and saying, you know what, yeah, okay, we're facing,
You're setting a marker, aren't you?
But we've knocked out PSG already. Like, we beat these guys in the group stage. We can do it. RJ, I know you've got something. We were going to announce it at the end.
Can you hear that drum
We've
roll?
got a few people in here. Let's drop this announcement, hey?
Well, we said the big announcement, and you know what? I actually feel this is because we've got a very loyal listener base. They've supported us from the ground up. We're fast approaching that 500 subscriber mark, and we did want to wait before we got there, but we're an impatient trio here. We just like to move things forward quickly. So we thought, let's give something back. It's the giving season. It's the festive time of the year. So why don't we give back, and let's do, insert drum roll, a jersey giveaway. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to do a jersey giveaway. It's going to be in the spirit of what we're doing here tonight. It's going to be a retro style jersey, and it's from a local supplier here in Australia. And we will give out more details in terms of the competition information, but we just wanted to announce to you that please look out on our socials over the coming days. It's going to be a jersey giveaway on behalf of the IFT to say thank you to current and new subscribers, to give our gratitude for supporting us. So stay tuned. It's an awesome supplier. They've got some great jerseys, as you can see, that I'm wearing one now and happily to rep it. Chuck the website up if you've got it handy, Scott. It'd be nice to give people a bit of a visual.
Unfortunately, they don't sell these Bukayo Saka shirts for anyone interested, but I'm happy to sign it and chuck this in for the winner as well. So if you win,
if that makes you happy,
I'll sign this for you if you want it, unless it's Alex or Martin. This is the website, Arch. Just quickly tell the people about these guys.
Yeah, that's right. So like I said, it's a local Australian supplier. I've ordered from them, can attest to both their quality, timeliness, and friendly service. So that's how we know that they're reliable. But as you can see, it's all very high quality retro style jerseys. And it's not just Premier League. It's got Serie A, it's got La Liga, it's got some other top European clubs, as well as some rest of the world, as Scott's showing you on the screen. And even if you go into, you don't have to go into any of the pages, but if you go to the top of the page, Scott, just so people can see where they can find the website. And what we've done is we've struck up a bit of a relationship with this mob because they're a local company, and I really like the quality of their shirt. And they were more than happy to support a growing football content creator here in Australia. So very excited to announce that jersey
giveaway.
Up
the Arsenal stuff.
Sorry,
brings up the Arsenal.
Boys, this is great. I'm doing some.
We're trying to get people to follow us, Scott. So I'm not sure this is the right page you want to show them, mate. Now, but in all seriousness, we really want to, say thanks for all your support, and we're going to do that giveaway just before Christmas time. So stay tuned on our socials, and we'll remind you guys at the end. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy it as much as we enjoy giving back, because it's pretty exciting from our part. Let's go back to the Premier League, though, because we've got some big games to talk through.
100%. And I see Master Yoda's making some inquiries about people in the UK winning. Don't worry about the postage, mate. We will cover the postage.
Oh, it's all covered. All covered.
Your subscription is worth just as much as someone local. So even if someone wins it, no matter where you are in the world, we will get your prize to you. But maybe not my Bukayo Saka shirt because it's purely iconic. Boys, I just want to look at a couple of comments in there. Declared loves it. Declared's loving it. Master Yoda already thinking.
Tell your friends, ladies and gentlemen, this is the start of something special.
Tom loves it. Marty loves it. There's even Spurs ones there, Marty. I thought they only did big clubs, but they do have Spurs too. Daniel's keen. Declared. I don't know why I'd put that comment up. And Concierge of Crime, Jorginho, J5. Mate, it's only classic big players. Xhaka wannabe, Jorginho won't get it.
The Regista.
I'm feeling the fire tonight. It's a double stream night for me. I'll be in another stream a bit later, but we'll talk about that at the end. Let's bring up the EPL, boys, the big one. But I have to admit, I looked at the fixtures this week, and
yeah, it's not amazing. Besides,
I'm just going to move our faces to the side. I looked at the fixtures and I was like, yeah, some good games, but no big blockbusters. So let's get into the predictions.
But there are some intriguing narratives, though, aren't there, Scott? Because you've got, obviously Gerrard's return to Anfield. That's pretty special. Chelsea Leeds is obviously a very big rivalry there from yesteryear. So even on face value, like your traditional Liverpool's versus United's or Arsenal versus Tottenham's, there's still some very intriguing games that have very big implications for both sides of the ladder, I'd say.
Yeah. We've got a few people asking what the website was for the jerseys. We would maybe kind of suggest to you, if you're thinking of buying one, just maybe go in, see how you go in the competition. But maybe just hold off a week or two.
We would recommend you hold off for your benefit. Trust us on that one.
Yeah. If that helps. All right. Let's go. Brentford, Watford. First one. Robbie, you're the man in hot form at this point.
Yeah.
What's your tip?
I'm going to go Brentford 1-0 on this one.
Wow, Brentford 1-0. Okay. What about you, Arch?
I think it's going to be a 1-1 game, to be honest with you. Both scrappy teams, a lot to play for. Just don't know which Watford team you're going to get, so I'm going to say 1-1.
Agreed. Don't know.
I'm going to go opposite. We've got 3 different tips. I'm going Watford 2-1. I think they'll have enough. The next one is Man City versus Wolves. This one I don't think will be as simple as some people may think. City have been, they've been City. I don't need to say any more. But Wolves have been clawing some hard-fought results. I thought they'd be much lower on the table than they currently are. So I think they're going to go there and try and be pragmatic, hold City out. But I do see Man City taking this 1-0. What about you, RJ?
Yeah, no, I'd love to see City slipping, but they've been in really light blue hot form at the moment, and Wolves haven't been. They've been quite shaky, couple of draws, a loss. Not an easy team to beat, but at the Etihad, they should probably win. I'll lock in 2-0. 2-0 to City.
Yeah, 3-0 for me.
Easy. Okay. Let's just chuck up a couple of predictions that the live chat had for the Watford.
I'll take that, Master Yoda.
Watford and City. Shano's chucked all his in. Shano doesn't muck around. That's why I like him. He certainly doesn't muck around. He's my favourite Newcastle fan. Arsenal Southampton. This game is absolutely huge because that negative momentum that I talked about last week is slowly building. That 10-win streak, undefeated streak, win streak feels a long way in the past. We've just dropped brand new merch range, which, as fantastic as it looks, timing is not great. We need 3 points here. We genuinely need them, or it's going to implode. I do think we'll beat Southampton. I've been probably overly optimistic. I don't think we have any divine right to beat this Southampton team. But boy, oh boy, we have to. And I'm just hoping that we pull through. I'm going for an Arsenal win 2-0 in this, but I'm not saying that with any confidence whatsoever. What about you, Robbie?
Look, if this was at St. Mary's, I'd be picking a draw in this because Saints at home are strong. But because it's at the Emirates, and like you said, for your reasons, Arsenal really need this just to bring up a bit of positivity. I do think you'll win. I think it'll be 2-1, but I actually prefer your score of 2-0. Quick spoiler in my FPL, I changed out my keepers this week. I took out Mendy, and then I put in Ramsdale.
Oh, I brought him in, and he's just gone totally against the grain now. I've ruined him. I've ruined Mendy.
The last month, I've had 3 Chelsea defenders. I've had 2 in the back, 1 and Mendy. And like for most of the weeks, I was getting 18 points every week, clean sheets. Now, as soon as you don't get that clean sheet, it just wipes out everything. So yeah. I've gone down back to 2 Chelsea defenders. I've swapped out the goalkeepers because Ramsdale does make a lot of. He's a pretty good shot stopper, so he does get good points.
Yeah, he's good for the TVs, as we know.
Best keeper in the league at the moment, mate. He would not have conceded that Masuaku. Wasn't even a shot. Arsenal. He wouldn't have conceded that Masuaku cross that.
No, they would have been up by 4 goals by that point, so it wouldn't have mattered.
They might need some cameras for Mr. Mendy.
Oh, jeez.
RJ, you made your tip, didn't you?
No, I didn't, but I will now, and I'm going to be convinced by Arsenal taking this out 2-1 in the end. Yeah, not with any confidence.
Very good. Evening, Matt, joining us. Legs Rooney's in the house. He likes that old school Man U kit. It is quite sharp, I have to admit. Let's go to the next one. RJ, you want to do the honours? Chelsea, Leeds, Davide, if you're still in here. Chuck in your prediction too, man.
It's a big rivalry game, as I said. There's definitely no love lost between these two sides, and getting a win is so important for us just to kick things back off, because December's been a nightmare, as the song says. Wake me up when December ends. For us, it's just very, very bad at the moment. Injuries are killing us, but I think because we rested a few players for the Zenit game, I'm hoping we get some good news with a couple of other players on the fringes, that being at Stamford Bridge, that we will not play perfectly, but bounce back and get an important 3 points. And I'm going to tip us to take this one out. I'll go 2-1 in the end, 2-1. I was going to say 3-2, but I'm going to say 2-1.
No, 2-0 for me.
2-0 Chelsea?
Yeah.
Okay. As much as I would like Chelsea to drop points, I think Werner and Lukaku's scoring bodes well for you, because it's what you desperately need. You need those guys to start hitting some goals. So I think they'll continue. I actually think Big Rom will get the double in this game. I'm going with a 2-1 to Chelsea, but a Big Rom double. Davide's calling that Leeds is defending well. Chelsea's win back and strikers. Some drama there. He's going 4-1.
If Chelsea don't get a win here, I think we'll see Chelsea Twitter will be in meltdown. Honestly, I really think there will be. I think Chelsea will pump. I think it'll be convincing 2-0 on this one.
Yeah, me
well, I hope so, man. I can just see one of those ugly goals. That's all.
Do you think the Tuchel out whispers might start if it's 2-0?
Still too much credit in the bank still, because we're still firmly in the top 3. But we've got to start winning. Let the performance do the talking. So we'll see.
Spot on. This next one, now you mentioned narratives earlier, RJ. Tell you what, this has a hell of a narrative to it. We've got Stevie G, who left Rangers, came and took this Villa job from Dean Smith, and has been doing some good things with Aston Villa, who we all expected to not be garbage at the start of the season. We all thought they'd be in and around European spots. Stevie G returns to Anfield in the opposite dugout. I think he's going to get a remarkable reception. I think the fans are going to be stoked to see him, as long as he doesn't spoil their day. To me,
until Buendia scores or something.
Buendia's garbage, mate. He's absolute garbage. But this Liverpool side are flying. Jurgen Klopp's doing his thing. We've spoken about how impressive they were in the Champions League. I personally see nothing other than a Liverpool win, but I feel this will be tight. I'm going with 2-1, a late winner to Liverpool, though. What about you, Robbie?
Yeah, I'm the same. I actually think this will be a really, really close game. Maybe, like I said, a late winner, probably Divock Origi or something. I think I'm going to go 1-0. I don't think this is going to have many goals at all. And like I said, that's one thing. As much as we've clashed with Stevie G over the years, I seen an interview with him the other week, and they're kind of saying, you're going to Liverpool and this and that. And he goes, mate, all I want to do is go there, and I want to win the game. I'm a manager of Aston Villa now, and I kind of believe him, mate. So he's kind of got that. He wants to go there and he wants to put up a fight. So I think Liverpool will edge it at home. So I'll go 1-0 to Liverpool.
Interesting. RJ, what about you, mate?
Yeah, I still think the way Liverpool's been playing, Aston Villa have been also in good form, but at Anfield's a different beast at the moment, unless they get some major warm-up injuries or something crazy happening.
7-1 that game?
It was a blitz, 8-1. I believe. Oh, 7-2, wasn't it? 7-2.
I think it was something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? But that's never going to happen again. I actually think Legs are Rudy's the score I'm going to go. I think 3-1 to the Reds. I think Villa will do a good job at the start holding them out, but the resistance will be broken. And then in pursuit of trying to get back into the game, they'll probably open themselves up. And yeah, unfortunately, I'd love to see Liverpool drop points, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, fair enough. Next one, Robbie. Obviously, we'll let you kick this off because it's your boys being hosted by Norwich.
Yeah, look, anything other than a win here, and we'll be back to
Ralph out.
Ragnick, yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be a steamrolling performance. I'm going to go for a 2-0 to us. I'll be a clean sheet and a win, and I'll be happy, even if it's a 1-0. But I think I'll go 2-0. I think we've got a couple goals in us.
Okay. Okay. What about you, RJ?
Yeah, I was going to say 1-0, but I don't know. I think they've got a little bit of a spring in their step, a few fresh players now, and the United train's full steam ahead. Unfortunately, I'd love it to derail, but it doesn't look like it'll happen. But Norwich aren't a team at home. They've been capturing their own form again. But United, I still think, is going to be too tough for them at the moment. So we'll lock in a 2-0 Red Devils.
Interesting. Next one.
What did you tip, Scott?
Oh, I didn't tip, did I? Look, I would love Man United not to take 3 points, but it ain't going to happen. You'll take 3 points here. I'm going with 1-0 Man United in this. Brighton hosting Spurs. I think this will be a really good game. You've got Spurs looking better under Conte. You've got Brighton, whose form has been shaky, and that's me being kind. Both teams would love 3 points here. Brighton to start some momentum, Spurs to continue it. It pains me to say it, but I think Spurs will have a little bit too much for Brighton, who are slipping for me. So I'm going to go with Spurs 2-0.
Even with all their COVID players out as well.
Yeah, I still think they'll beat Brighton.
Yeah, well,
Have they put out a list of who the...
No, they've just said 8 combined, but I don't know who. But I'm still going. I think Brighton at home is still strong. I'm going for 1-1 in this.
Yeah, interesting. What about you, Arj? Do you think the game will go ahead, RJ? Because Martin's saying he doubts Spurs will play. And look, my attitude's clear. We had to play with COVID through our camp. They should have to play too. They should have to play. Do you think it'll go ahead?
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting now, just depending on how severe it is, quote unquote. But I'd like it to go ahead. As you know, we said this the other night, I had this debate. I don't want it to be too much chopping and changing, but you've got to assess the situation on its merits. So we don't know how severe it is. I know they've given you a list, but I would like to know just how far and wide this thing's gone. Fingers crossed it does go ahead because we don't want any more disruptions. But I think Robbie's onto something. I think that even if it's not the bigger name players that are ruled out, I still think it affects their preparation and focus. And because of that, it gives Brighton a chance, especially Brighton at home, who are desperate as well, might just cause a little bit of a banana skin. So let's lock in a 1-1.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that, Trippy, by the way, mate. Just to be clear.
To me, that they have to play. They honestly have to play.
I don't mind that. Is their conference game, is that 100% off tomorrow, or are they playing or not? Because people are just saying it's off, but is it official off or what?
That's what I've heard. Yeah, I just think the Premier League set a precedent at the beginning of the season, and you've got to follow that. Unfortunately, there is too much money, there is too much at stake in the Premier League for them to take it case by case, because all you're going to do then is really cause controversy amongst your clubs, your owners, your players.
Yeah, but I think there is a line they draw. Like, let's just say, what if it wipes out 11 of your first team starters? Are they just going to go and play your under 23s? Like, I think there is a line that's got to be drawn at some point. Like, consistency can only get you so far, especially these are extraordinary circumstances. So I'm with you, but I'm saying expect the unexpected. That's all. Yeah,
we'll have to wait and see what will happen with it. But yeah, look, obviously you just hope everyone's healthy. You hope that everyone's healthy. You hope that there's nothing more serious that comes from this, whether it's your biggest rivals, enemies, whatever. We're all humans at the end of the day. But I do think in terms of competition, it's that they should play. That's my opinion. Burnley hosting West Ham, the battle of the jerseys, because I always mix these guys up. The jerseys look so damn similar all the time. Robbie, we might kick this off with you.
Yeah, hard game, this one. Like I said, West Ham do play tomorrow as well, but I think West Ham will edge this one, maybe a 1-0 again. Burnley always hard. I'll go 1-0 edge. Very cagey match.
I'm going to go with a West Ham winning this. To me, they're looking too good. They'll be confident. I don't think they need to go all out in the Europa League. So I think they'll beat Burnley. I'm going with 3-0.
They'll probably rest players because they smashed their group as well, so they've already qualified first, so they could probably
and
a lot of players. Yeah,
that's what's popping up in the chat too. Martin's calling Burnley to get a point. I'm calling West Ham 3-0. What are you calling, RJ?
Well, I think West Ham are going to get 2 gifted goals like they got against us. I still think they'll dominate. Oh, let's be honest, they were.
Or keeping, mate.
Or very poor goals. But either way, they won't get the same generous goalkeeping errors you'd think. But Burnley are in a crisis situation. I do say that knowing that it is a very severe word to use, but they really need to start getting points on the board. But West Ham, to me, they're in a very good momentum, probably are going to rest a lot of players given their situation. And I think they're going to keep the good times rolling. So I think they'll take this one 2-1 in the end.
There you go. Before we move on to the next fixture, which is Leicester and Newcastle, Shano, make sure you get your prediction in. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. We did announce earlier in the episode that we are doing a retro jersey giveaway, courtesy of our friends at Galazzo Retro Football. Keep your eyes on our social media, particularly Twitter. We will put out a tweet with all the information on how you can enter. We'll also chuck it on Facebook as well. We know some of you don't use Twitter. Shano is going to kick this off for us. He's saying Newcastle will keep rolling. Leicester are there for the taking. I agree with half of what he's saying. I agree that Leicester are there for the taking. Do I think Newcastle are ready to do the taking? No. I actually think this one will be a 1-1 draw. I think the teams will cancel each other out. Newcastle have looked better. But I still think they've got enough to share the points with Newcastle. What about you, RJ?
I feel the passion. I feel the willingness for Shano to want to get his tune over the line. But yeah, that's it. For me, I don't know. I still think there's a team in that Leicester side. There's still a lot of star quality in that area. They're just so defensively vulnerable. I like the 2-all shout that David has put up, to be honest. But I think they're actually going to get up this one. I actually think that Leicester will win this one 2-1.
I wouldn't be shocked. I honestly wouldn't be shocked.
I'll be amazed if Newcastle win this on the road. I'll be amazed. I'm going for a 3-1 to City, Leicester City at home. I think like I said, I think there's goals in that team. Jamie Vardy, Madison's there. They've got some quality players. And look, I always rate Schmeichel.
Harvey Barnes as well.
Harvey Barnes. There's quality in that team. Tillemans is there as well. I think it'll be 3-1 to Leicester.
Don't forget James Madison, mate, future Arsenal player.
Keep twerking, mate. Keep twerking.
Let's go to Palace, Everton. I think this would be interesting, this one. Palace have quietened down a little bit from that hot form. Everton will be buoyed by their win against us. I mean, what better way to kickstart your momentum? How do you think this one plays out, RJ?
Just got to address the comment here from Shano. RJ and Rob out. Get out of it, mate. Mate, we can't help that. We're spinning facts, Shano. If you guys win, I'll be more than happy for you, mate.
Mate, I can run this on my own. I can kick them out of the stream with you on Shano.
That's right. We'll take our giveaway with us. No, all kidding. But Palace, I want to win this game. I'll be honest. I don't have much love for Everton, especially with the manager at the helm. Got a good win against Arsenal, which was nice to see. Tough one. Palace have been off the boil. But at home, I think they'll see, talk about teams for the taking. I think they'll see Everton for the taking, to be honest, even though they've got that morale boosting win. I'm going to lock in a Palace win 2-1. Not confident, but I'm going to lock it in.
Robbie?
Yeah, look, again, this is nearly a fence-sitting one. I don't know which way it's going to go. You just don't know with Everton. Like I said, they looked fired up the other day at Goodison. You know, they had the disallowed goals. The crowd was pumping. They really needed that, but I don't know. I still think that Palace at Selhurst has always had the beat as well. I just put Benteke in my team as well, so I agree with that.
I better change my tip then. That's it.
Yeah, I think it's 2-1 to Palace as well.
Look, I'm going 1-1 in this. I think they'll cancel.
That was the other 50-50 I was going with. It's the worst.
Well, Davide wants to sub in for one of you boys. Well, Davide, I'm expecting that when we do our next phone-in, potentially on Tuesday, Do we have any guests booked in for Tuesday, boys?
Maybe just Davide at the moment if he wants to jump in on the phone in.
You know what, Davide? On Tuesday night, when I put the link in the live chat and we'll do a bit of a call in, man. Call in and tell me why I'm wrong. It'll be like high school all over again. We can argue some football. Boys, we've covered the UCL. We have gone through and looked at the Premier League upcoming matches. We've dropped our bomb with our Galazzo retro kit giveaway. More information to come on our Facebook and Twitter. And we've had a ball with the live chat. Let's turn this down a notch. Let's turn this down a notch and hit some quick fires, hey? Are we good? Robbie, you're always prepared for these.
Always prepared. I've got two here, boys. One, I think we've done this one before back on our podcast days, but we've got a live chat now, so I'm interested to see some of their answers as well. Usher or JT?
Oh, the hard questions up top.
Yeah, I think like before, but now that there's a crowd, I'd like to see the
Twitter's finest.
I'll go first. I hate John Terry. I think he's a despicable bloke. Played for a despicable club. So
he's next week's guest, mate. You just insulted,
mate. Sometimes you've just got to let it burn, and it's Usher for me.
That's it. Well, here's my confessions. I'm going to lock in Usher. Big JT fan. Love Justin Timberlake. I listen to them quite often. But Usher, 8701, the Confessions album. Oh, I think I might listen to a few of them after this just to wind the clock back.
Mate, Marty's in with a good shout. Don't worry about this. Jonathan
Thurston, James Tedesco, Jason Tamalolo,
the real
JT.
So we went, all of us went Usher. Nice. All right, the other one I got. Favorite board game as a kid?
Scott and I had a bit of a robust discussion about a board game once upon a time. He probably doesn't remember.
All right. I know this is quick fire, but hold on. Live chat, I need your help. 3 guys play Monopoly. One's myself, one's RJ. We'll call the other one Boz. Myself, RJ, and Boz are playing Monopoly. I am well in front. I own the most property. I've got houses, hotels. I'm just going through the motions, bleeding the game out because the other 2 had nothing.
Meanwhile, I'm living on a prayer over here.
Boz decides that he's finished. He's done. He's had enough. He wants to go and participate in other activities rather than Monopoly. So he picks up all his property because he didn't want me to win out of spite, gives them all to RJ.
A good business relationship.
And just leaves the game. From there, RJ has now been able to complete sets because he's got 2/3 of the property, builds hotels, and then starts to take the upper hand. Obviously, I got very upset and flipped the board almost and walked away. But
lesson learned. It's not what you know, it's who you know, mate. Don't forget it.
Live chat, is what RJ done, and to use a term from our friends on some other podcasts, is that a red card? Surely that's a red card. That's offside. If we're on
that's the show
right now,
that's right. Our liquid friends from Born Offside. That's right.
Yeah, the Born Offside. Check them out. They're absolute champions. That's offside. That's a red card. That's scum of the earth.
No, you're offside. He's saying you're offside for flipping the board.
No, not me. It's you. You scumbag. And Davide, you probably know who Boz is. You think about that guy from school. I'm going with Mousetrap though. That was really fun.
All right, cool.
Board game? Definitely not Nightmare. I can assure you that much. That scared the hell out of me as a kid. But favorite board game? I know it's Quickfire. Let's just go old school, mate. We'll lock in Monopoly for sure. Trivial Pursuit was quite good too, though. Out of a random backup.
I had one probably than that. My one was called Life. It was called. It was like a real it was like about $100, but it was a big, massive board game. Really good. I always like to play that with my cousins. So Life.
Yeah. There you go. Boys, one from me. This is a bit of an open one. What are you vibing with at the moment? Show, book, game, song, soundtrack. What's something you're really vibing with at the moment?
That's easy. Well, obviously the finale came out for Money Heist, so the final 5 episodes smashed that. That was great. Always pro clubs with the boys. always pro clubs with the boys, and what else is there? And always all American for me as well. Always vibing those ones.
Yeah. There you go. And Trippy, you know the kind of bloke Boz, our friend Boz, is. You know exactly who
Sounds a lot like Boz, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's. It's not Mark Bosnich. Just I don't want anyone tweeting Bozza, telling him that he plays Monopoly in a disgusting manner. A couple of good ones here in the chat. We got Tom saying Money Heist, and he's almost finished Narcos. Daniel has called wrestling. Marty's
old school wrestling's better, but to be fair,
Midnight Oil new album. That'd be an interesting one to tune into. Carlos, who is my central midfield partner in the IFT podcast Pro Clubs team, he's digging some pro clubs, and us boys have been playing every Wednesday night and over the weekend too. So if you have a PS5 and FIFA and you want to jump in, just send us a message. Hit us up. We don't do trials. Rob made the team, so clearly we will take anyone.
Scott, you finish your one because I just saw an awesome chat.
Yeah, I've got that there. Yeah, I've got that there. I saw that one. I'm vibing with new Bruno Mars album at the moment. He's got one. It's like a night with the Silk Sonic or something, and it's with Anderson Park. It's so good. It's like old school vibe as well. I'm a massive Bruno Mars fan. What about you, Arch? What are you vibing with? And we'll do Yoda's one too.
Yeah, that's a good question. For me, I've been watching this new show called For Life on Netflix. It's pretty good. I've been enjoying that. And because I work in the office here at home during the day, I've got YouTube playing, podcast, blah, blah, blah. And big Game of Thrones fan. I think I've said that 100,000 times already. But there's a thing on there where on YouTube they've got like the histories and lore thing. And I just like listening to the different episodes and just listening to different characters tell their sides of the story. It's actually very interesting if you're a Game of Thrones fan. So I've been vibing that at the moment.
Have you boys seen this one? Deets has just thrown in. Last documentary I've watched is, I'm not going to try and say it. Robbie
Signor Azzurro.
Yeah, well, I told you about this one a couple of weeks ago on Netflix. It was good. It was about an hour long. It was really good.
Sounds like something I wouldn't watch. Declared with the big $1 million question, when's RJ joining the pro clubs? We were messaging him about it today. We are going to start a GoFundMe. We want RJ.
I'm already in the pro club, the pro IFT club right here. Are you talking about PlayStation again?
No. You haven't played pro clubs. We've declared. Listening to him for a whole game is fun. But we love him dearly. Let's do this one from Master Yoda, then we'll go to yours, RJ. Favorite Sandler film?
What a belter of a question. So many good ones, but so many bad ones, I've got to say. He's one of my favorite actors. I'll go first to give you guys some thinking time. Old school off the cusp, Happy Gilmore for me. I have to throw it out there.
That's good. It's you know what? The challenge is we'll go 3 different ones, so I don't pick this.
Okay, good.
For me, obviously I'm a teacher. Billy Madison for me is right up there.
I'll throw Big Daddy in there. I love Big Daddy. Oh,
classic. So many. See, that's not one I was thinking of. But once you said it, I was like, what a great movie that was.
What's your name? Right on the wall.
Wedding Singer, Waterboy, Anger Management. There's so many good ones.
Come on.
The Longest Yard.
Big Daddy.
Longest
Yard, that was a crack as well. I like Longest Yard.
Sometimes our quickfires go for longer than our football predictions. This is
is this what we're talking about? Football? I came here for the quick fires.
Yeah, that's it. We just need to do
anymore. We'll just call them slow fires.
We've just got to do one night, boys.
Just
call in and talk nonsense. Like, let's just call in and talk crap one night altogether. Little Nicky. Yeah, I forgot about that movie.
I don't know that one, Little Nicky.
Yeah, he's the devil's son in that one.
Boy, that's my boy. Yeah.
All right.
Have you got the last one, Arch, or what?
Last one. We'll keep it movie specific. We said Adam Sandler, but this one I know the live chat will like to get into as well. One of your favorites, it doesn't have to be your favorite, one of your favorite Will Ferrell movies.
I hate Will Ferrell, so this is easy. I think there's only 1 or 2 movies I like him in.
Which one?
Is it the Step Brothers? He's in Step
Brothers. Yes.
Yeah. Because I don't like him, so there's only 1 or 2 movies that I'll actually watch with him. So Will Ferrell goes.
That's offside, mate. If we're going to use an offsideism.
Yeah, I think Justin is just bang on the money.
Just quickly, what's that other one? He's in with When he's
Two
like
for me.
another. Nah, with Mark
Which one?
Wahlberg. What's the one he's in with Mark Wahlberg?
Daddy's Home.
Daddy's Home.
Yeah.
I didn't
But
mind
you
that
know,
one.
there's two great ones as well. So you've got Old School, Frank the Tank. You've also got Semi-Pro, Jackie Moon, top movie, Semi-Pro, and Blades of Glory. Chaz Michaels is figure skating. Boom. Exactly.
You know what? He's had some good movies as well. He's had some really good movies.
Step Brothers, yeah.
It's hard to argue that one.
Yeah.
Boys, look, Tuesday, we promise you, because the fixtures are a little bit dead this week, on Tuesday, we're going to open the phone-ins. If you want to just phone in and chuck out a quick fire question, let's get some mischief happening on Tuesday, hey? Would love to see you guys in there. I know Master Yoda's just thrown another one in.
I know, we're going to have to save that. We're going to have to save that one for next week.
Save that one for Tuesday. We're gonna do that one on Tuesday night. Boys, you got anything coming up in the next few days or over the weekend that you wanted to share before we say goodbye?
Robbie?
No, I'm pretty quiet this one, mate. So always looking forward to the Premier League. Thanks again for tonight for the live chat. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Easy. What about you, Arch?
Yeah, just want to say again, thank you very much. Very excited about this jersey giveaway. It's been a banging conversation. I've got to hit the hay pretty soon because I've got another podcast appearance up at 5 a.m. to talk to some very awesome Chelsea accounts that run a very awesome show. So I'm looking forward to that and sharing it with my fellow Chelsea community.
Excellent. Shano's saying he's going to join us on Tuesday, maybe. Master Yoda hates the end of the stream. Yeah, me too. Daniel, pleasure. I am doing another stream. You guys would have seen VJ around the channel before. He runs SportsWire.
Great guy.
I'm going on his channel tonight. Because of the time difference, it's an all-nighter for me, hence why I'm looking a little bit tired. But that's at 11:15, so I'm just really talking to Declare because I know he'll be up. If you want to jump in, feel free. But I'm going to chuck the link in the live chat. Boys, his YouTube channel is growing. He's a good supporter of ours as well. If you get a minute to jump over and sub to him, it helps. And when you're first starting out and your channel's still young, every sub really helps. So if you guys have a minute, jump on and give him a sub too. RJ Declare's asking when you're going to be on.
Well, mate, I'm just, since Chelsea TV, I've got a new profile pic on Twitter that the guys stir me up about now. So look, I'm just getting phone calls left, right, and centre declared. We're gonna have to talk offline, mate, when I get my EA onto this.
Easy. Righto, boys. It's been an absolute pleasure. Live chat, thank you as always. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't do this without you. Hopefully see you on Tuesday. If you want to join, we're phoning in. Feel free to jump in even with a quick fire or to share your views. Until then, enjoy your Premier League football. May your teams win, except for Marty and Alex. But may everyone else's teams savour 3 points. Take care. Have a good night. See you next time.
Sure.